Hi, welcome to the podcast Ease into Clarity. I'm Dr. Divi, family doctor turned intuitive coach, and I'm here to help you. In this podcast, we will learn mental techniques, emotional techniques, and spiritual techniques to change daily problems. So maybe it's your husband, your boss, your coworker, your kids, they're driving you crazy. You can email me any of your questions and I will use all the techniques I've learned over the years and help you. Grab your hot chocolate and make sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon. Ciao. Hi, it's Dr. Divi, host of the podcast Ease into Clarity. And today we're going to be talking about being a sensitive. This is a common topic that comes up in my Transformation 101 class. We talk about this a lot because a lot of people who are attracted to me tend to be sensitives emotionally or mentally or physically. So what does it mean to be a sensitive? So in the course of today's conversation, I'm going to use the words to be a sensitive means to pick up emotions, feel the energy, pick up emotions when you walk into a room. Just think about it for a sec. Have you ever walked into a party and just knew if you should stay or go? Or kind of had a feeling which corner of the room to go in? Or you're hanging out with your friends and for some reason you can feel their anxiety or their anger? That's what I mean by being a sensitive. You're picking up nonverbal cues all day, every day. If you haven't read my book, You Don't Look Psychic, it's by myself and Lynette Brown. I really, really recommend it. It'll help you a lot in this topic. And get off of Amazon. But why is sensitive being so hard? Number one, we pick up stuff all day, every day, just like I gave some examples of. We walk into work and we feel something in a coworker. And the second thing, that's why it's hard to be a sensitive is because we create meaning. Maybe our coworker's having a hard day, but we can create meaning where meaning doesn't exist. And the third thing being a sensitive does for us is we create stories about ourselves and other people. So let's just say you walk into work and you can tell your coworker's having a bad day. Maybe they're not talkers, but you make it mean something and then you tell a story about yourself, or you tell a story about your boss, or you tell a story about the other coworker. Now, as a result of these things that happen as being a sensitive, this is just a small fragment of what see happen. Some people end up extremely lonely. Some people end up extremely anxious and depressed. Other people can feel like, the world's against them. Other people have massive problems in relationships. They sometimes don't leave their homes. They can get sick. These are all negative effects of being a sensitive. But there's some really positive effects of being a sensitive. If you're a realtor and you're a sensitive, you can pick up across the room what the other person is thinking. You can make a lot of money being a sensitive. You can know how to climb the ladder at your work using emotions if you're sensitive. So you can actually do quite well financially in relationships as a sensitive for sure. But there's also negative effects that we just talked about. So right now I'm going to go through 4 steps that I've written out that I want to share with you about how to work with your sensitivity and how to interpret it differently. The first thing I want you to be open to is that being a sensitive is not a bad thing. And all you have to do is learn to work with this. That's a really big thing because most people, by the time to get to hanging out with me or listening to this podcast, they've created a story that being a sensitive is hard. My back hurts, my body hurts, being a sensitive is hard. Oh my God, I hate feeling all day. So if you've got that story, just change it. Being a sensitive does not have to be hard. The second step about understanding sensitivity is understanding what's called the law of one. What the law of one is that you and I are connected. You and I and everybody, in the same classroom is connected. In fact, you and I and everyone around the world are connected. Law of one is that there's no difference between me and you and the next person next to you. If you ever come to a workshop of mine, you'll see the law of one in action. Everybody feels so connected to everybody else. As a result of the law of one, you will pick up stuff from your neighbor, your boss, and so on, especially if feeling is a big thing for you. The third big one to help you with your sensitivity is stop feeling like a victim. One of the most common things I hear sensitives say to me all the time is, I picked up this and it's not even mine. BS. You will only pick up that which is yours. I'm going to say it again. You will only pick up that which is yours. So you are only going to pick up something that is an energy match to something in you. So stop thinking you're a victim. And that takes me to the last point, which is probably the biggest point and probably the most important point. And let's go here. When we're sensitive, we can walk around the world all day and we pick up stuff and we think, okay, it's theirs, not mine. But what really is happening is that there's a story in our body and our mind that we have forgotten about. And that story needs healing, which is why we're picking it up. And so let's just say you're constantly, picking up this idea of I'm not good enough. You carry it in your shoulders, your back, where you have this idea that you're responsible for everybody. You feel it in your back and your neck all the time. Then you feel it worse when you're around somebody who has the same feelings. Well, rather than feeling like a victim or rather than blaming, look at that story of I'm not good enough or I'm responsible for everybody and forgive it. Give it to spirit. Give it to the divine. Give it up. And you heal it with love. You, my friend, are a child of the divine. You, my friend, are a child of God. You are a child of love and unconditionality. And as a child of love and unconditionality, there's nothing wrong with you. So if you've got that story, it's time to forgive it, give it up, and take on a new truth. I hope that helps. I'm sending you lots of love. Stop thinking being sensitive is hard. You have to rewire that way of thinking. You're not a victim to it. And really what it is the chance to heal your own stories through forgiveness and love. Sending you lots of love. And don't forget with my podcast, you can email me. And I've actually changed it. You can email me and you can actually show up on my show live and we can do some coaching on this live podcast. So in order to do that, you're going to see my email address, easeintoClarity@gmail.com. My assistant, Sarah, will set up the meeting. Sending you lots of love. Namaste.